I think what she said is totally fine, but I actually think you shouldn't be able to say what he said, given the order. If it's a problem, then sue her. Sue her for defamation. You said you were gonna, but you're not gonna, because you know you can't. This is obviously not true, and people are gonna try and sweep for this. Where is the, like, outrage for Tectone just lying about this? I grew up in COD lobbies, bro. I grew up in COD lobbies, bro. After I was...
And if you cry and you say that your feelings hurt, you will win in every situation you are ever a part of, especially if you're a woman.
Well, that's not entirely true, is it, Tectone?
Asmongold is responsible for his own mother's death.
Guys, huge Tectone updates. As you can see here, Shamu's got some tweets. Apparently, Tectone has decided to make a public statement about his ex, Pink Chiu. I usually say Pinky Chew, but I think it's Pink Chiu. We'll call her Pink. So he's tweeted about Pink here. And it's obviously about Pink. Anyone that knows the story knows that it's about her, and I can explain why in a moment. You'll ever heard of a sexual assault victim complain they weren't getting enough sex? So, for those who don't know, Tectone is accused of forcibly sexually assaulting his ex, Pink Chiu. And he did this by forcing her to give him a blowjob. Now, at various points in the relationship, Pink Chiu had asked Tectone to have more traditional sex, and he refused because he says he has a lot of trauma related to an incident that happened to him at the hands of his sister when he was a child. So he's terrified of more traditional methods of sex and can't do it. That's what Tectone says. Others have pitched other theories, such as him having a micropenis, which he's spoken about at other points. But I think the most likely one is somewhat linked to what he's saying. I honestly don't know if I believe his stories about when he was a child, because of other things he said about being a child and his claims of schizophrenia, which were completely made up. But definitely, I think he's got some kind of aversion to traditional sex or some kind of obsession with blowjobs. It's one of the two. It's a preference thing, is my point. It's not a mechanical thing. Now, Pink Chiu, at various points in a relationship, said wanted more traditional sex. But at another point in the relationship, Tectone forcibly sexually assaulted her. So just saying, oh, this sexual assault victim wanted sex isn't actually dispositive of what she's saying, because obviously they had a relationship. That doesn't mean that every instance of sex was consensual. And she wasn't asking you to do the thing that she's claiming was sexual assault. She wasn't just asking you for any sex. It was about actually, you know, having sex that was enjoyable for her, not just her giving you a blowjob, especially not one that was forced. So Shamu says, though the tweet wasn't archived, this is wrong. This is incorrect. It wasn't archived at this moment, but it has now been archived, and the full archive is there. It's been posted by multiple people, and the replies to this tweet were archived. These were posted by 3 different people, history logs, so yeah, just showing that it did actually happen. Now, why might Tectone have felt compelled to seemingly break a protective order? Because he is, for those who don't know, court-ordered for 10 years to not talk about her, leave her alone, don't go anywhere near her, not own firearms, okay? That's a court order that he's got against him because a court decided there were reasonable grounds to believe he sexually assaulted, harassed, and stalked his ex. That's what the court decided. And so there's a 10-year protective order in place that stops them from interacting, stops him from owning firearms. Now, why might he have felt compelled to make that comment that could be in breach of that order? Well, some have speculated that this clip of Pink Chiu is why. Now, I want to briefly talk about this clip of Pink Chiu because I hate this type of content. I truly, like, it makes me resent. I have to assume it's other guys watching this stuff. I have to assume there's no women watching this stuff. It makes me resent them. It makes me look down on them as goy cattle. It is like softcore pornography that is just made to funnel people into the OnlyFans of the people involved. Obviously the point, and I hate this content. I hate the white void dating shit. It's excruciating to watch. So we're going to watch this clip. Dude, listen, try not to make this, you know, try to remember that people's personalities don't dictate the veracity of their claims, and try not to suddenly be turn to Tectone's side within 5 seconds of this woman talking. Okay? Really? Okay, guys.
I like sex. I haven't had sex in so long.
Did you know, the last guy not have sex with you, or what?
Well, he was only attracted to anime women, so. But it looked pretty anime. Kawaii desu. Something like that, you know?
What do you mean he was only attracted to anime women? Was he like addicted to?
Hi.
So he was addicted to. So he was addicted so much he didn't want to have sex with the real thing?
Something along those lines.
If you suffer from this, call 1-800. Yikes.
Wait for it, guys. Wait for it.
Bless you.
Okay. All right. And Bella, what kind of guy are we looking for Pink?
A guy with hair, number one.
What's this whole like, you know, bald guys thing?
Bald guys are
I just-
fine, but her ex was bald, so she needs a change of pace.
I like sex.
If you get mad, you lose. Guys, I can't reiterate this enough. If you get mad, you lose. You lose so bad if you're actually angry at this, okay? Simultaneously, to make people like you angry, because you're, at least it sticks in your head that way, and to appeal to the absolute worst people you know. So you have to let it wash over you, okay? So yeah, the part that's relevant to that is obviously saying the last guy didn't have sex with her. I don't even know, is Tectone her last boyfriend? I don't even know if that's true. I honestly, is it about him? I don't know. I truly don't know. But that's what people are saying. That's what's being said. And that, regardless, I assume Tectone saw this, and this is probably what prompted it, either way. So, let's take a look at Sleepy's video about this and see if we've got any more information.
Man, I feel like without fail, Tectone gives me content at least every week. Like, I was criticizing Pegasus because his last 9 videos of 10 were on Hassan, which, by the way, we can just increase that to 10 of 11. Like, I'm not going to deny that covering a guy like Tectone is like an easy layup for me. And of course, there's a large audience that wants to hear about Tectone's fuck up today. But seeing such reliance on one content creator to make all of your videos, it makes me happy that I've got so many clowns that I can talk about. But today we talk about our favorite conservative griftoid, okay, our favorite creep on the channel, the only conservative YouTuber from Texas that I know of that can't own guns, an admitted viewbotter who likely scammed the companies that sponsored him. Well, it appears that he may have made a mistake today. Now, if you guys aren't familiar, this is Pinky Chew. She is a content creator. She does spicy content on the side if you're into that. And she is also Tectone's ex-girlfriend. Important to note, not Tectone's ex-wife, who Tectone has under NDA to not discuss the details of their relationship. This is Pinky Chew, the ex-girlfriend of Tectone, who filed a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit against Tectone, and won that civil lawsuit, granting her a protective order against Tectone, causing Tectone to not be able
there's
to
still
own...
sort of some clumsy language here, because it's not like he didn't win she didn't win a civil lawsuit. It was she was granted a protective order. It wasn't like a full. It wasn't a civil case. It was an application for a protective order, which was granted.
Guns, not be able to come within, I think it's like 200 feet of her, and not be able to discuss...
It's not plaintiff defendant, it's applicant respondent.
Pinky Chew on his stream or other platforms. And this protective order is for 10 years with a possibility for extension. Now, it must be added that the reason that there's a protective order is because the court found reasonable grounds to suspect that Tectone had sexually assaulted Pinky Chew and was stalking Pinky Chew. So Pinky Chew was on this video, which appears to be some sort of like dating show type of deal.
I like sex. I haven't had sex in so long.
I like sex. I haven't had sex in so long. Okay, so we won't talk about the details of that, but what else did he tell you about why he did not engage in traditional vaginal intercourse with you? He said his sister molested him when he was younger, and he consistently told me that he was disgusted by vaginas. Mr. Robertson, did you ever engage in vaginal intercourse with my client? No, ma'am. So as you guys know, Tectone has a deep-seated fear of vaginas, finding them repulsive. So from Pinky Chew's perspective, the relationship was likely very unsatisfactory, not to mention the sexual assault.
Did you know the last guy not have sex with you?
Just seen this get posted in the Discord. Someone posting this GIF.
What happened?
Well, he was only attracted to anime women, so.
True! Own that fraud!
But it looked pretty anime.
Sleepy, kind of being cattle here. Sleepy, kind of being cattle here.
Kawaii desu.
Something like that.
Okay, it's a little cringe, but...
Oh! Snapping out of it. Snapping out of it.
You know, we'll give it a pass, I guess.
What do you mean he was only attracted to anime women? Was he like addicted to...
Hi.
So he was addicted to... Hi?
This all lines up. This all lines up.
So he was addicted so much he didn't want to have sex with the real.
I mean, I guess I should just show the clip. You know, I show the clip every now and again. It's an old meme, but it's a good one.
I love her, and she definitely deserves to be a 5-star. We're gonna bust this shit open right now. Sucrose, you can suck him in. Klee, jerk him off. You go.
What? Excuse me? Klee is 10 years old. The hentai allegations, the anime allegations, it might be worse than that. It might be something that Nuxtaku would be into. Maybe that's why Tectone and Nuxtaku get along so well.
The real thing?
Something along those lines.
If you suffer from this,
Dude, there are dude, Nuxtaku doesn't stream anymore, by the way. Nuxtaku doesn't stream anymore. He does all his shit pre-recorded.
Nuxtaku get along so well.
the real thing?
Something along those lines.
If you suffer from this, call 1-800-YIKES.
Bless you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you guys. This shit's awful. I couldn't imagine watching this for any other reason than Tectone is being criticized and mentioned in this video.
Bless you.
Okay. All right. And Bella, what kind of guy are we looking
Well,
for?
no, the Shahid drone thing isn't funny. It's funny because Nuxtaku's cousin
Play the
actually
beginning
did
of
die
RoboCop.
in the IDF on October 7th. I believe that's why the joke works. It doesn't work if you say it's an Iranian Shahid drone.
A guy with hair, number one.
What's
That's awesome. Listen, chat. Take your finny pills. You don't want to end up like Tectone, okay? You
At the
know?
beginning of RoboCop.
But you know what? There's a lot of bald chads out there. I'm not gonna act like there's not. I just don't want to be one of them. And fuck Tectone. I mean,
what's this whole like bald guys thing?
Bald guys are fine, but her ex was bald, so she needs a change of pace.
I like sex. I haven't had.
Okay,
This
so that's about
is some
Tectone for
gooner
sure.
shit. So in response to this video, a certain someone decided to violate the terms of the protective order that's against them. Y'all ever heard of a sexual assault victim complain they weren't getting enough sex? So a couple of notable aspects to this tweet. First of all, I don't think you're allowed to do that, buddy. I think that's illegal. Furthermore, you guys admitted in the court documents, both of you like agreed, y'all never had sex. There was never any vaginal intercourse. Like, wow, big surprise. Tectone is lying about the details of his case on the internet. That's never happened before. But like, even if you guys did engage in that and that was how the sexual assault happened, they can still want consensual sex. You know that, right? Like, it's not a binary of like raped or unraped, and that decides whether or not you want to engage in consensual sex. Like, I understand for Tectone, like that's exactly what happened. Tectone had something happen to him when he was a kid with his sister, and he's never been able to move past it. Now he's got like a repulsion to vaginas. But like, projection much? Just because that was your situation, now you can't look at a fucking vagina the same way. It doesn't mean that your victims of sexual assault can't have different feelings. But then again, it's entirely possible that Tectone does not have the ability to like empathize or think about what other people want. I mean, if you ever go through and read the court documents, you'll very clearly see that he's a selfish, disgusting monster. Like, obviously they reference it in the court documents that like part of the sexual assault that he did to Pinky Chew resulted in a rupturing of her lip filler, which had recently been done. He would later go on and laugh about this stuff and talk about it online.
Use case for
I'm hearing that Tectone misses her so much that he's even gotten some of his own lip filler done. That's my understanding.
not to do and accused of SA. In court,
Chud added everyone with that image in his Discord earlier, by the way.
Pink had medical records of a lip injury sustained during the alleged assault. So what does Tectone do? Talks about and confirms the injury on stream.
You know what you can't do to women who have lip filler? You can't their mouth because it'll rupture the lip filler.
More.
By the way, for the record, if you guys think that this isn't like humble bragging, that's what this is. This is him talking about something in a way that doesn't sound like he's bragging, because he's just being matter of fact and describing it. But in doing so, the implication is, look at this cool thing that I'm doing. Look at this cool experience I had. I f***ed someone's mouth and ruptured their lip filler. But yeah, shout out Shamu, Tectone's career-ending court case. I definitely recommend watching that. Now, this is a tweet from Kilotonics. Tectone potentially violates his protective order with a not quite at all veiled shot at Pinky Chew. Key protective order language. Texas Family Code. Okay, I don't need to read the rest of that. Texas protective orders for family violence / stalking, like this one, include broad...
Dude, it's so funny that this clip fucks him too. Because to me, it's so obvious that he's, at this point, when he's saying this, he's worried that something may end up coming out. Probably because she's freaked out about raping her. And so he's trying to prime people, saying like, oh, dude, you can just be like having sex with someone and their lip filler explodes. And he's fucked himself in doing it because he just confirms the event.
Bragging because this failed. Just protective orders for family violence / stalking, like this one, include broad prohibitions beyond just no direct contact, no communication, direct or indirect, in a threatening or harassing manner. And we can very clearly say that this is a harassing manner, discussing her sex life in this way. No acts or conduct that are reasonably likely to harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, or embarrass the protected person. So again, 100% this has been violated. This applies to social media. There you go. Indirect harassment through third parties. So again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to act like I know exactly if this is grounds, but it certainly looks like it from my unprofessional, fucking uneducated point of view. And it's gotten so bad that one of Tectone's biggest defenders, okay, the guy that Tectone said made him turn to Christ, okay, Templar, Tactical Templar, the guy who believes that marital rape is not a thing, even he's turned on Tectone. He's saying that he's got no impulse control.
There are criticisms that you could levy at Tectone. He has no impulse control, and he shouldn't be tweeting shit like this, especially with a protective order. There are criticisms.
Pretty sound advice from Tactical Templar. Shout out Streamer TV for this little compilation here. The tweet that potentially violates his protective order. So we've already read this. Y'all ever heard of a SA victim complain they weren't getting enough sex? This is what I talk about all the time. There are a lot of short-sighted, retarded simps that are guided entirely by their emotions. Thus, I don't like Tectone, so this is good and funny. It's not. The situation sucks. She can talk shit about him, but he isn't able to respond. Whatever you think about Tectone, every one of you should be able to recognize that this is not the way society should operate. Again, Tactical Templar still trying to defend Tectone as best he can. The reality is, if he wanted...
I'm going to say something totally crazy. I think what she said is totally fine, but I actually think he shouldn't be able to say what he said, given the order. It just doesn't, you know, there's reasonable grounds to believe and you're restricted from talking about it. If it's a problem, then sue her for defamation. You said you were going to, but you're not going to, because you know you can't. And it's not because of any, she didn't say your name or any stupid shit like that. You know that's not the case. It's because it's not defamatory.
If he wanted to be able to talk shit about Pinky Chew, he should have won his court case. He should have had his evidence ready to go. In the court case, actually, let me read something to you. Wait a minute. This has all been on file since August. You've known about this since at least your video on November 21st of 2024. And you're telling this court under oath that you only spent 15 minutes to dig up these just for court today? Yes. And do you remember getting online and telling all of your followers that you had all the evidence back in November of 2024 and you were ready to produce it all? Answer, of course. This tweet about society shouldn't work this way, it's so unfair. He didn't even fucking try. Okay, he had all his lawyers and he spent 15 minutes gathering evidence. Are you fucking kidding me? Even if you want to say that, oh, it was an activist judge. Oh, she was lying. Which again, there's a lot of stuff, including the lip injection having to be removed and the Tectone corroborating it on his stream. Forget about all that. This motherfucker didn't even show up with evidence. He spent 15 minutes digging. That's about it. He's a fucking loser. He's brain dead. And just as Tactical Templar said, he's impulsive, and that's why he tweeted that. And that's why, to be honest, an impulsive guy probably wouldn't be able to...
I don't know, man. Reliable sources are telling me that Tectone is a very sophisticated manipulator. That's right, guys. That's right. Now, we've got another video here, okay? There's another Tectone video to get to here. It's called YouTube is Terminating My Channel. Now, I don't have the tweet on hand, but I'll tell you what it said. About a week ago, Tectone put up a tweet. We did watch a sleepy video about it all. About him getting banned. He got a week ban from YouTube, from posting on YouTube, because he claims, because he said that Hassan wants to suck Asmongold's dick. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You can say way worse than that on YouTube and be totally fine. So that makes no sense to me. You can say way worse about Hassan on YouTube and be totally fine. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. That would be why he was given a strike. That makes no sense, in fact. So I don't believe him at all. I don't believe him at all. That's what it was. And he's now posted a video. So, and back then he said, it seems like there's nowhere that will accept me. Nowhere will let me be myself. And now he's announced a Rumble deal. So he was obviously fielding for something like that. So he's going to Rumble instead. Now he has uploaded a video called YouTube is Terminating My Channel. Just to take some of it out, guys, YouTube is not terminating his channel. That's not the case. That's not true. He just has a strike. So technically, he's like in the process of termination in the sense if he gets 2 more strikes, he will be terminated. That's what he means by YouTube is terminating my channel. So a bunch of stupid clickbait, desperate for people to watch, desperate because he's absolutely fading from relevancy. Just needs people talking about him. So let's take a look.
On guys, I haven't seen y'all in a week, and to give you guys a TLDR of what this video is about to be about, I'm going to tell you guys why YouTube is currently underneath the process of terminating my channel, as well as I am now going to be streaming exclusively live on Rumble, which the link is underneath in the description. I would appreciate all you guys giving me a follow. YouTube videos will still be on YouTube, however, I am not streaming on any other platform besides Rumble from here into the very far future. So, let me tell you where I've been and why you guys haven't seen a post from me in now 7 fucking days. So, I am a content creator where the thing that I pride the most in myself is being able to be as transparent as possible when allowed, unless a legality comes into play where I get to tell my chat everything that I'm thinking, everything that I want to say, and the exact way that I want to say it. However, what's going on right now is there is a parade of content creators who are currently abusing the copyright strike channel feature on YouTube. Number 1, Hassan Piker. Number 2, and I shit you not, this just happened.
Okay, so let's run that back.
What's going on right now is there is a parade of content creators who are currently abusing the copyright strike channel feature on YouTube. Number 1, Hassan Piker.
So that's explicit. That is explicit, right? There's no way around this because this is obviously not true. This is obviously not true. And people are going to try and sweep for this. People are going to try and sweep this. This is a total lie. Hassan, as far as I'm aware, never copyright striked anyone. I've never heard anyone say, I've been copyright striked by Hassan. That's never been a drama. There have been 0 dramas about that. Never once have I heard Hassan doing that. That's never been a thing. So the idea that he would suddenly strike Tectone is absurd. Now, Tectone has also already said that he received a strike from YouTube for what he said. That wouldn't be a copyright strike. That would be a terms of service strike. Right? That's not a copyright strike. So it's just totally fucking absurd. It's like the most obvious lie. And people are going to sweep for it. Like, his fans are buying this. His fans are buying this. They think Hassan's, like, struck him. They think it's Hassan's fault. Like, how crazy is that? You can just go out and lie that there's a copyright strike and no one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. Meanwhile, Ethan Klein actually does abuse the DMCA system. Meanwhile, Nicholas Diorio sits there sucking Ethan Klein's dick when he actually does abuse the DMCA system. Where is the, like, outrage for Tectone just lying about this? Or, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. There is going to be no defense of Hassan here. It's fucking absurd. And Tectone, like, dude, how does anyone believe this? Like, WestJet's here, this scumfuck, is sitting here saying nothing. Claiming copyright maliciously should be a strike for the accuser. No one did that to him. There needs to be harsh punishments for creators abusing copyright claims. It's fucking crazy.
Number 2, and I shit you not, this just happened today, Baby No Money. Baby No Money has copyright struck WestJet, and Hassan copyright struck my channel, as well as Ariana Grande. Yes, so...
Where's the... Hassan copyright struck you? Where? And Ariana Grande copyright struck you? No, you probably got a VOD claim for playing Ariana Grande in your VOD. You fucking... Come on now. Ariana Grande personally copyright... No. No. Now, did Baby No Money copyright strike WestJet? I don't know. That could be true. That could be true. I'm not sure. I don't know how much of Baby No Money's music video he used. How he used it. Obviously, there might be legitimate reasons to copyright claim. But even from Baby No Money, I would agree with.
We currently have a couple warnings on our channel as well as a strike. And the reason why for this one will blow your mind. Out of everything that I say on this channel, and I get it, sometimes I say some crazy things. I don't really think I say anything too diabolical, but all I said was due to, and I'm going to have my, I'm going to have to censor a lot of things that I say going forward, hence why I'm very glad I'll be streaming on Rumble very soon, because what's going to happen is I'm going to stream completely uncensored on Rumble, because I've never heard of a single person ever be banned on that platform for anything they've ever said, and then I'm going to have to sanitize it a bit on YouTube, unfortunately, just to make sure my channel has a much higher chance of not getting deleted while these copyright strike claims come off. So what I said is that Hassan had some suppressed homosexual rage for Asmongold.
So now he's describing a terms of service strike. He's not describing a copyright claim anymore.
And he often fantasizes about Asmongold and him sharing a lovely night together. I'll kind of just let you guys fill in the pieces, but that's in essence what I said. And I'm not going to lie, I am a shit talker. I absolutely am. Because that's the world where I was born into. Where people talk shit, people say some crazy fucking things. Now,
says the guy who literally cried on stream. Literally shuddering lip. Because Hassan made fun of the fact that your dad's a rapist. Because Hassan made fun of the fact that his dad's a rapist. And he was touting his dad as some fucking war hero. When his dad was raping his subordinates in the military and was convicted of it. The little fucking whimper. Yeah. So, Tectone, big shit talker. He called my dad a rapist. And he's trying to play like this. He's trying to play like, I grew up in cod lovies, bro. You get called worse than epigenetic rapist in cod lovies, Tectone. Trust me, bro. I was raised on 4chan. Yeah. After I was raped myself. Brilliant, man. Brilliant. That's what this guy. That's the big shit talker, bro. He's just a real one. He's a loose cannon. He just wants to be able to roll in the mud, you know?
Obviously, we don't make up any crazy-ass shit where they're like, oh, this guy's a cannibal. Oh, this guy's a rapist. Oh, this guy's a fucking pedophile. Obviously, we don't go to any extent.
Notice how it's... He has to make it seem like he's not just talking about himself all the time. So it's, oh, this guy's a cannibal. Totally absurd one that no one says about anyone, let alone Tectone. This guy's a rapist. This guy's a pedophile. Well, why do you get called a rapist, Tectone? Well, it's because the court found that there's reasonable grounds to believe that you sexually assaulted your ex Pinky Chew, and there's a heavy amount of corroborating evidence that suggests that is the truth. There's actually quite a lot of corroborating evidence, more so than in most cases, to indicate you did really do that. And why do people call you a pedophile, Tectone? Well, it's because when your Twitter likes were public, it was noticed that you were liking lots of animations of children in sexual situations, such as Venti from Genshin Impact, as we all know, having his ass blown out by a helicurl, I believe they're called, from Genshin, which is sort of like a forest, woodland, evil dog type creature. It had sort of like an animalistic cock, it seemed, that was going into this younger character, which Tectone was liking on his public Twitter account that people saw. And so he had to purge his Twitter account and unfollow all the accounts he was following and all this shit. So that's why people call him a pedophile, alongside all the other things that he's said and done along those same lines. So yeah, there's actually, these aren't just totally made up, are they, Tectone? These aren't just like totally made up. Like, there is actually some reason to say those things.
Not much, but back in my day, we used to say things like, I'm gonna fuck your mom in the ass, or I fucked your mom, in whatever orifice you want to imagine. But the world has become far too soft for people like me to not be heavily censored into it. We currently live in a world where feelings outweigh the law, where feelings are taken into account more than proven evidence. And if you cry and you say that your feelings hurt, you will win in every situation you are ever a part of, especially if you're a woman.
Well, that's not entirely true, is it, Tectone? Well, that's not. I can think of one situation where someone broke down crying and they lost. They lost horrifically. And some could say they're still crying about it right now. Some could say that in some ways, They're still crying about it as we speak.
Side note. And it's just become very difficult for me to do what I want to do the way I want to do it, which blows. I've been doing this content creating thing for almost 8 years now, which is crazy to say. Yeah, when I started my channel, I was a prime young age of 24, and now I'm 32, feeling the best I've ever felt, looking the best I've ever looked in my entire life, lifting the most I've ever lifted in my entire life. Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure I can bench 315 now. I'm going to make an update video on that soon. But unfortunately,
wow, awesome, man.
To all you guys who are long-standing fans of my streams on YouTube or my streams on Twitch, I don't think I'm ever going to go back to those. I've been banned for calling an editor. I'm going to need you to blank this out.
Now, guys, editor, take this one out. Editor, take this one out. Now, if I said that, I'm pretty confident my editor would take it out. Let's see what happens here.
You can write out a censored version if you want, or people can fill in the gaps if you want. I got banned for 2 weeks for calling Denims a whore when she actively prostitutes herself live on OnlyFans. I got banned for another 2 weeks for calling Frogan.
He sort of almost says what he actually got banned for there. He got banned for calling Denims a whore and invoking her OnlyFans when he jerks off to it in doing so. So that's what he got banned for. Now, you obviously can't even promote your OnlyFans on Twitch. That's banned. You can't promote your OnlyFans. That's why these women have to do the whole, like, going through 5 different links. You have to, and they can't mention it. They can't direct people there. They have to, like, do this whole meta to get people there to funnel. So the idea that Tectone should be able to bring it up to degrade them is a little bit absurd. Obviously, if that was the case, if they create a situation where you could bring up a woman's OnlyFans to degrade them, all the women that do it now would simply introduce that to their streams. They would introduce a male to degrade them so that people knew that they have an OnlyFans and they could more easily funnel people. That would become the meta. So it would create an absurd situation that would just be totally unworkable. So yeah, Tectone got kind of reasonably banned for that. Let's see the next one though.
I got banned for another 2 weeks for calling Frogan fat when I believe she's 5'2" and above 300 pounds. I got banned.
Okay, so you did get banned for that, and I would be against that ban. But the truth of the statement doesn't really have any bearing on whether Twitch is going to ban you for it, especially when you're calling someone fat or ugly.
For saying Hassan is gay when he frequently talks about Asmongold every other word of his stream.
So did you get banned for calling Hassan gay, or did you get copyright struck?
If he stubs his toe, he blames it on Asmongold. And it's just getting very exhausting. Because these are the same people where Hassan calls Asmongold a pedophile. He calls Nuxtaku a pedophile. He calls me a rapist. He says that Asmongold is responsible for his own mother's death. He celebrates terrorism. He says American soldiers deserve PTSD and 9/11 needed to happen to America.
Sound bad, guys. Sound bad.
Didn't get banned for any of these things. Same thing with Denim.
He got banned for like half the things you just listed, dude.
She goes around calling everybody.
He literally got a ban for like almost everything he just listed, dude.
Criminal accusations, left, right, center. Frogan, same deal. Criminal accusations, left, right, center. Says America deserves 9/11. And I don't know when all of these social media platforms became so anti-American, so anti-free speech, but it makes me fucking sick. And I hate how I have to take these countermeasures where I don't get to stream in places like YouTube and Twitch anymore, a place for my home, or a place where my viewers know as Tectone's home, wherever they get to go here, and they know that I'll always be live every day at 9 a.m. CST to 1 p.m. CST, which I still will be on rumble.com/Tectone once again, which will be linked in the pinned comment and the description, which I encourage you guys to go follow. But it's just exhausting because obviously I would like to multi-stream, but because I'm going onto a completely new platform and I'm starting from ground zero, I shit you not, guys, I'm starting from the beginning. 0 viewers. I have 0 followers, 0 viewers on this platform. I am going to be rebuilding everything from the ground up because I actually believe that Rumble is a platform where I will actually be safe on and not get banned for some bullshit again. It sucks that I have to worry about the sanctity and the longevity of my channels, but that's just what happens when you are a guy who tells it how it is. And that's what sucks. That's what happens when you don't pander.
That's all he is, guy. He's just a guy who he's telling it how it is. Just telling it how it is. That's what he was doing when he got on stream and cried about being raped because Hassan made fun of him. Just telling it how it is. Keeping it real as fuck. Keeping it 100. Keeping it real as fuck. None of this shit that deep, bruh. None of this shit that deep, bruh. This shit ain't serious. I'd just be keeping it real. I'd just be keeping it real. I was raped.
To people's feelings, when you don't lie to people because you need to tell them a certain lie. That's what happens when you speak up saying, hey, I don't believe that we should be experimenting transgenderism on children.
When I watched this earlier, I literally knew this is what he was going to say. I literally knew this is what he was going to say. I literally knew. When he was saying, like, I'm a guy who keeps out his... I literally knew he was going to say this. I had, like, a premonition. I was listening to this, and I was like, he's going to say kids getting their genitals mutilated or some shit like that. I had it in my head, and then he just says it. It's like, wow. That's amazing, man. That's really amazing. When has Tectone ever been a big crusader on trans shit? Since when, bro? Since when?
0 viewers. I have 0 followers, 0 viewers on this platform. I am going to be rebuilding everything from the ground up because I actually believe that Rumble is a platform where I will actually be safe on and not get banned for some bullshit again. It sucks that I have to worry about the sanctity and the longevity of my channels, but that's just what happens when you are a guy who tells it how it is. And that's what sucks. That's what happens when you don't pander to people's feelings, when you don't lie to people because you need to tell them a certain lie. That's what happens when you speak up saying, hey, I don't believe that we should be experimenting transgenderism on children. That has got me in shit.
Experimenting transgenderism on children.
It's nuts. Or, hey,
what does that mean?
Just because you're fat doesn't mean that you're beautiful. Shaming the body positivity movement because, yeah, if somebody's fucking fat, you need to fucking tell them because they need to lose weight or else they're going to fucking die. Unfortunately, we live in a reality.
That's why you were calling Frogan fat. That's why he was calling Frogan fat, guys. He was trying to save a life.
We live in a world where feelings and emotions outweigh documented evidence and proof. And it's pathetic. And people like me get punished for that shit on a day-to-day basis. But I have never been more motivated. I have never been more focused on making it as a content creator and operating the best.
I'm always really convinced when people have to keep reiterating this.
Best that I can to not get banned again. I'm going to get banned again. Everybody's such a fucking pussy these days. And you know what they do to guys like me? They try to label me as a fucking psychopath. They try to label me as a criminal to get people to stop listening to me. But you got to understand, if enough people are trying to get you to stop listening to someone, well, that means they probably have something that these people don't want you to hear.
I just have a coffee.
And that's why I pride myself in telling the truth at every time, even when it gets me in shit. I could rant. But realistically,
dude, my eyes are actually going.
We're going to make it. We always do. Life throws challenges at me every single day, just like it does for you guys. And I'm not going to sit here and be a victim. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to get the fuck up. I'm going to dust off my knees, dust off my shirt, and I'm going to get back to it. No excuses. I'm not going to live my life at being a fucking victim. We're going to fucking do something about it. If you guys want to help me do that thing, follow me on Rumble. I'll be live every day from 9 a.m. CST to 1 p.m. CST, maybe even longer. Anime reactions are coming back. Video game streams are coming back. We have no censorship issues on Rumble. Fully uncensored content. I'm going to be naked. We're going to do some crazy shit on Rumble, and I hope you'll join me for that. Still going to post on YouTube every day. Just going to really censor it just to make sure that my channel doesn't get fully terminated, because that's currently the direction of where it's going. I got to be a good boy.
But how's that going to work? I thought you got copyright struck. How's censoring going to work? How will that fix us on copyright claiming you? I don't understand. So yeah, this guy that just gets to level bullshit allegations of false copyright strikes, where there's not even a copyright strike, and no one gives a fuck.